Hello there, this is the Pleasant Imperfectionist, and I'm coming to you guys again with another video. I know it's been a long time since I have been able to do a video with you guys, and basically I'm going to try to do videos a different way. I was hoping to use my phone since I do have that available, and it's just one of those things that are not working out. But because I want to move forward and you have to be able to just pick up and keep going, I'm going to go ahead and continue to make the videos. Hopefully I can make them short and sweet. But the first video that I'm going to make with you guys today is how to successfully be an independent contractor or self-employed. If you're going to venture out to be self-employed, I do want to state that it could be helpful for you guys to get information from people who have actually done it. And being that I've done it, I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about it so that you guys can be as informed as you can be. But I also want to have a disclaimer that everyone's experience isn't going to be the same. Everyone's experience could be different. The market fluctuates, of course, so you do want to be mindful of that in a way that not just financially, but how it is and how it works for you. One, I guess I'm not going to number it, but I do want to just go out and give maybe 5 reasons. We're just going to go with 5 reasons why, you should do your research on being self-employed, as in it could basically help you in your situation. Being informed about the process of being self-employed is that you need to find your resources. You need to find out what it is that you're gonna do, what it is that you want to do, what you want to dabble into a little bit. And there are so many different ventures out here, and I'm going to name mostly transportation, as in transportation is almost like the #1 source of being self-employed, because a lot of people choose Uber, Lyft, and things like that. But you have to also look at it as though these are technology companies. These companies are not into transportation, they are into technology. So it's basically a gig that's based on an app, and with that, they know more about the app than they do about the transportation process of it per se. And your job basically is to navigate through the app using your source of transportation, being say well, I guess I want to name some names, but not necessarily. We're going to talk about transportation as far as Uber, Lyft, and then you'll talk about grocery shopping as in Instacart, Shipt. You want to talk about food delivery, and that's like Grubhub, let's say Doordash or Uber Eats, basically. And then there are also others out there, of course. And then I think in Texas based, there's also Favor, but Favor is like a mixture of everything, as well as Postmates, I believe. So I would put Postmates and Favor around the same category. Now, if you want to know more about those particular companies itself, I can basically make a video based on each one, or maybe group some of them together, since there are 3 different types of categories that you can deliver for. But you also have situations where you can deliver for some of these food companies directly. You have that option. And so you do want to do your research. You want to find out what type of services that you want to provide, if you want to sell your own products and things like that. But I want to mainly talk about something that is mostly easy, or appear to be easy, but not necessarily easy. Because when you go into it, and this is number 2, when you go into it, you look at the situation where it's, how do you fund for this? Is it out of pocket, or are you self-starting and things like that? And they market those gigs through the apps as though you're self-starting, as if you're owning your own business, as if this is your venture into being independent, of course. But the thing is that number 3, you're not necessarily independent, because they have their regulations and things like that you have to abide by. But that's just like with any business. If you have a business, you're gonna make rules for yourself. You're gonna make guidelines so that you can have a limit and a boundary, expectations for yourself and your company, so that you can grow. Your goal is to, number 1, make money. This is just as simple as that. And in that process, when you're making money, you want to set a situation for yourself so that you're in the plus and not the negative. And that's number 4. When you're venturing into becoming self-employed or as an independent contractor with any of these gigs, whether it's for yourself or from an app or a company or just a group of companies that you just want to work for and you want to stay at home and things like that, you want to look at it as though you're going to have downtime. You're going to have fluctuations. You're gonna have times where you may have a lot of work. There are times when you don't have a lot of work. There are different times of the day when you can go out or stay in. If you're multi-sourcing, you're gonna have to rotate your schedule, your time frame. And so, for instance, Shipt, they do have a time frame of when you need to deliver someone's groceries. That is a requirement. And so some gigs don't have as much of a requirement. They give you a time frame, a limitation where it's not so hard on you. And then you have the guidelines within that company that states that we will send you offers, we will send you work, basically, and you have to be available to take it when you put yourself, say, on schedule. There are options where you don't have to be on schedule, of course, but you do want to make money. And so that's what you have to decide, whether you want to be self-employed or an independent contractor or work for someone else, in a sense that when you're working for these gigs, you're still in a situation where you're almost not self-employed, because you still have to go within their guidelines in order to work. So say, for instance, if you want to do grocery shopping is going to be more typical business, say Mondays, well, we want to say weekends and Mondays, more like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sometimes a Tuesday. And you're going to have downtime within Wednesday and Thursday, but sometimes it can fluctuate depending on the seasons, depending on, like right now it's tax time. So a lot of people are getting extra money and people want to spend more because they have this money that's not in their regular budget or in their everyday budget. And excuse me. And so they're going to want to make life or situations or their schedule a little bit easier for them. And because they have this extra coins, it's because they have these extra coins that they have that they want to spend on something that's wise. They want to, free up their schedule. It's like if I go out and, if I get on my app, I order from Instacart or Shipt, it saves me about maybe an hour or 2 in grocery shopping with the kids, when I could actually be kicking up with my feet, watch a movie with the kids or something like that. And so this would be a good time for you to want to grocery shop, especially during the week, because if it's the weekend, they're not going to want to order through Instacart or Shipt, because they're going to want to go out and spend money. Because when I'm out at the grocery store, I'm also going to go to the strip mall and I'm going to go and hit up Bath and Body Works, because I just saw something that came up and I want to go and smell it, and so I'm trying to spend more money with that as well. So I'm going to go out there, I'm going to be free because I have that opportunity to be free, because it's a social event, it's an opportunity to do something other than work, basically. So you're going to have those instances where you're going to get more work, basically. And during the summer, it's not going to be as much work, because you're going to have the kids are at home from school, and so they're making activities for the kids, so they're not as bored at home, so they're not breaking windows and things like that. throwing balls in the house. You know how kids are during the summer, they're bored and things. They want to go to the pool, and so you're gonna go to the grocery store and you're gonna take them to the pool with some snacks. So you might not get enough work during the summertime. So you always want to take into consideration of the time frames, the seasons, the type of work that you're doing, and all that stuff. So those are things that you really have to dabble into before you just go all in. And number 5, as I end the video, basically, number 5, when you go out there and you do your thing, you always know that it's a trial and error experience. You're not gonna go onto any of those gigs and you're gonna be successful within a week. You're gonna make so much money within a week that you're gonna base your life and your experiences off of that. And I want to tell you, please don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. A lot of people go out there and they make money the first week or the first 2 weeks, maybe even the first month. And they're going to take and they're going to base and say, well, I could quit my job. I don't have to do 9 to 5. I can go out and I can, work whenever I want to go. I can go out there for 2 hours in the day and I'm going to come home with these much of money or coins or whatever. And it's going to work out. It don't always work out. Your schedule is going to fluctuate so much in that when you're working a Shipt job or say Instacart and you're working between 9 and 12 in the morning, and you may be able to be successful during certain periods. You may be able to do food delivery between 3 and 5 and make a lot of money because there's peak hours and things like that where the pay is going to be a little bit more and people are more, let's say, in tune to tip or more generous in your tips, where say something like Favor where they are mandatory or mandated to tip you at least $2. Well, as I sip my tea, some people just tip you $2 and you're gonna make $4.10. It's just what it is. So you can't really guarantee that you're gonna make a certain amount during a certain period and things like that. It's a trial and error experience. So I want to say, going in, I hope that's enough information. But if you do have other questions or concerns or anything like that, I can always make another video to kind of go into depth about any of those topics so that you can be able to understand what is going on. And I hope I was as clear, and thorough with the information, being that I just kind of winged it and threw it out there at you. But when you do look at this video and you listen to what I'm saying, you want to try to apply just those thoughts into your ability to be able to make the conscious decision on whether you want to do or be self-employed or an independent contractor, if you will. Some of those other issues that's going to come about is that you're going to have wear and tear on your vehicle. You're going to need insurances. You're going to need I'm going to say a good credit history. You're going to need a lot of situations where you're going to need a backup, basically. So if you're going to go out there, you're going to need a backup of income so that you can be able to sustain yourself at least a month or two, preferably 6 months while you venture, because it's going to take more than 6 months. 6 months, at least 6 months, 6 months or more, before you can figure out what the economy is like in your city, in your town, and if you actually want to venture out into nearby cities and things like that, because there are also many opportunities where you can go into your next city over. But say in Texas, there are so many cities that are close by. You can also go into those cities, but the thing is that you're still going to have wear and tear on your vehicle. It may pay more just because nobody wants to take it out in the middle of nowhere. And so you will have those opportunities, but the thing is that is it worth it for you to travel over there and then come back? Are you going to get other work over there? Are you going to stay in that area? It may be 30 minutes away, but eventually you have to come out of there and you have to go home, and so you also have to look at it as though some of those gigs they offer you are not enough. They're not worth it. If it's not worth the trip, then you lost out on an hour of work, on an hour of making those coins that you thought were going to be reliable. And so those things are very important when you're looking into venturing out into being self-employed or say an independent contractor. Now, there are more aspects of it, and you can be an independent contractor with another company. You can be, say, there's different independent contractor jobs and things like that, and you would independent contract with a particular company. Now you can choose different companies to be independent with, and of course with those jobs you're gonna be able to promote yourself to those companies, and those companies will allow for you to have a contract with them, and so you work for them during the time. Say for instance, doing cutting grass or lawn services and things like that, maintenance and housekeeping and things like that. Those are other sources that you can add, and if you can add one of those or at least two of those, that actually will be one of the most excellent ideas. And if you already have a contract with a company and they're going to pay you X amount of dollars for X amount of days during seasons and things like that, it helps you to be able to have a more stable source of income. And so with that, and you want to have your own business, those are good options to actually have, where if you're starting up and you're looking for a company that you want to, brand of your own, and say like the Pleasant and Perfectionist, it's like, I have a brand, but I need a product. And so it's like, while I'm trying to, like, say, sell you my mugs with my brand on it, things like that, it gives you time to be able to come up with those things while you work. And you also want to look at, and I know that I probably got into more than 5 situations or whatever, but you also want to look at how much time you're spending in it. So I guess that's number 6, and I want to leave with that. If you're looking into being self-employed or as an independent contractor, you want to put in the time, as in, is it gonna work for me? Am I gonna be working full-time hours for this part-time pay? Am I gonna be stressing myself out more than I was when I was working at a regular job? Sometimes it can be like that. Like, say for instance, I've done all of them, honestly, most majority of them, because there are like 1 or 2 maybe that I didn't do or haven't ventured out into yet. I don't want to get all into that because there's not a guarantee that I will, and there's not a guarantee that I actually want to continue doing any of those, rather, or just venture out into something of my own. But I do want to say that YouTube is a source, Amazon is a source. You have all different companies and all different perspectives, but you don't want to work yourself and throw yourself out there so thinly and spread yourself so widely that you're so spread thinly, if that makes sense to you. It would be a time where you just put yourself into all these businesses, all these gigs and things like that, and you're trying to make money, and your focus is mostly just money, making the money, making the bills, paying your bills, keeping yourself afloat, buying the things for kids, get your kids braces, and things like that. Braces are expensive, and then also like getting your glasses fixed, things like that. But you're walking around with a pair of glasses on with tape on your eye. But it's like that. It's like you will have times where you're gonna be successful, and you will have times where you're not gonna be as successful. So you have to be in tune with those kind of things. And there will be times when you're gonna want to say, I just want to quit this. I just don't want to do it no more. I want breaks. But then when you take that break, you feel good about it, because then you realize I can take a break whenever I want to. So you always want to be mindful that you can take breaks whenever you want to, but just prepare yourself financially, prepare yourself in your schedule for your time to allow for those breaks regardless. Because once you get out there, it can take about six months for you to figure it out, only because there are seasons and things like that. So you're going to realize that sometimes, and actually based on experience, say transportation, Uber, Lyft, and things like that, those are going to be good in the winter. Those are going to be good when it's cold. Those are going to be good when it's bad weather, raining, and things like that. Shopping is going to be good on the weekend when people want to take breaks, but also after school hours, after work hours, between 5 and say 9, put it that way. People are gonna more want their groceries delivered when they're home, and if you're working all day, you are not home for your groceries. So basically that's it. During the day, you're going to get work from businesses who want to save money on their deliveries, and they're going to order through Instacart. They're going to order water service per se. And it's not a water service, but they're gonna treat it as such. And I have done it at times where the pay was worth it, and I felt like I could do it, like I can negotiate. That's another key aspect. You can negotiate, you know, your pay sometimes depending on the company. And they're gonna order 20 cases of water from Sam's Club or Costco. Please don't go to Costco and pick up that water for those companies with Instacart. That's if you take anything out of this, take that with Instacart. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. You're gonna break a back. You're gonna sprain your arm. You're gonna be in the hospital crying, and you'll be like, "What did I do? I don't know. I lifted those waters. I didn't even remember I did it last week." You know, it's like that, and you're hustling. Like it's literally a hustle. You're side hustling. When you're out there, you're in these streets and you're hustling and you're trying to get through it, and you're gonna have problems with, you know, the store employees and all that stuff. You're gonna have friends. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna be okay with the community. You're gonna be negative with the community, but it's gonna be all kinds of ups and downs and things like that. And so I want to just, you know, take it out and say that I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys take something from it. I hope that you guys are able to explore whatever it is that you want to do as far as self-employment and independent contractability. You know, I want you to be able to do that and use these tips to be able to help you to be successful in those areas. And with that, I'm going to end, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that you are pleasantly imperfected. You know, take your imperfections and you use them to make the best of whatever it is that you got to do what you need to do. As in, you don't have to be mad, you don't need to be angry, you don't need to be upset. People, you know, just don't like people. And so you're just imperfected. None of us are perfect. Some of us are having work done. It don't even matter. You know, some of us are doing way too much to get our body snatched and things like that. You know, it's just love what it is that you are, what it is that you do, what it is that you're trying to do, what it is that you're doing to get to where you're going, and be pleasant about it, you know. And sometimes I do want to say this, and this is my brand. My brand is to be pleasantly imperfected. And then stop worrying about what other people perceive of you. And there are people who will come at you. They're so strong-willed that they will come at you about what they don't like about you. And in this world and day and time, you just try your best to be pleasantly imperfected. And I want to tell you that even though it's my brand, I do struggle with it sometimes. And I just want to come out, and I just want to reach out to other people, and I just want to hone in that experience of what I've been through with different things. You know, people don't like my wig, people don't like my hair, people don't like my earrings, people don't like that I wear lipstick without makeup. You know, those things. It's just one of those things, and I don't want to, you know, hone in on a brand like that, but I do love it because I speak it and I live it every day. And so with living it every day, I'm going to speak it, not every day, but mostly I'm going to practice it. I'm going to live it, you know. And with these videos, I just want to bring out, you know, a lot of the things that I've learned in the process. I want to bring out some of, you know, the things that just, you know, not the things that just bother you. I just want to be happy, you know. It's not that I want to just think about all the negative about, you know, pleasantly imperfected, about being imperfected, but it's just like there are other people who share in your trials and your situations, your negativity, you know, and just, you know, be there for someone who may understand what it is that I have gone through. And I hope that what I experience will help you to get through your experiences. And with that, y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe, stay whole, stay pleasantly imperfected. Bye.